ignited. We're now down to 3 Raptor engines. We can see those chopsticks now in view.
Megavilla has caught the booster.
This is absolutely insane. On the first ever attempt, we have successfully caught the Super Heavy booster back at the launch tower.
What an incredible view!
Are you kidding me?
While many people were left disappointed after Tesla's Robotaxi Day event, just 2 days later, Elon Musk made headlines again. On October 13th, SpaceX successfully completed its 5th Starship test flight. The sentence, "This will be one for the history books," might be more appropriate for this SpaceX launch. Why is this such a significant moment? Let's break down what happened on the day of the test flight. On the morning of October 13th, SpaceX conducted the 5th unmanned test flight of its Starship in Texas. After liftoff, the first stage Super Heavy booster rocket separated from the second stage Starship. The first stage booster then made a controlled descent from high altitude, performing a vertical landing between 2 mechanical arms on the launch pad, referred as the chopsticks. This marked the successful recovery of the booster, a challenging feat. Meanwhile, the second stage Starship glided through space and re-entered Earth's atmosphere about an hour later, successfully landing in the Indian Ocean. One of the critical points of this 5th test flight was the use of the launch pad's chopsticks to catch the returning booster. This step is crucial for achieving Musk's vision of interplanetary travel. Why is this such an important step? To understand this importance, we need to look at Elon Musk's long-term vision for humanity. Musk believes that natural disasters, wars, or other global threats like asteroid impacts or climate change could potentially wipe out humanity. Expanding humanity to Mars or other planets is essential to ensure the survival of civilization. Musk has stated multiple times that SpaceX was created to enable humans to colonize Mars, thereby reducing the risks of relying on a single planet. His ultimate goal is to make humanity a multiplanetary species. Within this context, we see that one of Musk's core aims in creating SpaceX is to make interplanetary travel a reality. Specifically, this involves building a spacecraft capable of carrying both people and cargo. That is Starship. If we apply first principles thinking to break this down, we realize the key is sustainability. For example, for long-distance space travel, we need to consider refueling stations in space. And since the cost of building rockets and the spacecraft is high, it's crucial to make them reusable. Many had envisioned that parts of the rocket could be recovered and repaired for reuse, but Musk's vision is more ambitious. He wants a spacecraft that can land directly back on the launch pad, refuel, and be ready to fly again, just like scenes from science fiction movies. Though this may sound like a wild idea to many, SpaceX is actively working toward this goal. This is why the success of the 5th Starship flight is so important. The fact that the chopsticks successfully caught the Super Heavy booster brings Starship one step closer to landing directly on land and achieving full reusability. When the chopsticks caught the rocket, the live broadcast was filled with deafening cheers. SpaceX engineers and staff were thrilled by the success of this mission. Initially, many doubted the feasibility of this new recovery method. For instance, the returning booster travels at extremely high speeds and faces interference from the atmosphere, wind speeds, and air currents. To ensure the chopsticks could catch the booster, the rocket needed to fly with incredible precision, requiring highly accurate navigation and control systems. Even deciding at what altitude the booster should transition from a horizontal position to a vertical landing pose was a major engineering challenge. The two mechanical arms responsible for catching the rocket, each about 36 meters long and 18 meters high, had to adjust in real time based on the rocket's descent. This requires not only exceptional precision from the rocket's flight control system, but also high hover accuracy. Any miscalculation between the two systems could lead to an explosion on the launch pad. So far, there have been 5 public Starship test flights, each providing critical data. The first flight on April 20, 2023, ended with an explosion during the ascent due to engine failure, causing damage to the launch pad. The second flight on November 18, 2023, saw the booster explode after separation in space, resulting loss of communication. The third flight on March 14, 2024, successfully reached orbit but exploded upon re-entry. The fourth flight on June 6, 2024 was the first successful test, with both the booster and the Starship performing soft water landings. As you can see, the time gap between each Starship iteration is only a few months, which is an impressive pace. SpaceX treats every failure as part of the process, preparing in advance for the next test. Each failure has provided valuable flight data and suggestions for improvement. Additionally, SpaceX's ability to conduct so many test flights in a short period is partly due to the support of the FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, which has allowed them to reduce paperwork and speed up testing. Starship is also a crucial part of NASA's Artemis lunar program, aiming to return humans to the Moon by 2026 and ultimately prepare for Mars exploration. SpaceX has secured multi-billion-dollar contracts to use Starship as a crewed lunar lander. While this test flight has made significant strides, there's still a long way to go before Starship can be used in real missions. Large-scale technology validation is needed, and the unseen costs behind this are massive. Reports suggest that each Starship costs around $100 million. Is SpaceX financially capable of continuing? According to reports, SpaceX's Starlink program began turning a profit in 2023, and it's expected to generate $6.8 billion in revenue by 2024. With Starlink's profits, NASA's contracts, and other investments, SpaceX should have the funds to continue launching more Starships for testing. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for your watching. See you next time.